A good team effort. Getting 29 points from the bench with Chris and Eric. I thought we played, especially the first half, a very good half-court defensive game in the first half, up by 15. Lost a little bit in the second half, but I thought, overall, it wasn't the prettiest games, but it's a win in this league. You'll take that every time. I thought our guys, defensively did a decent job. One of the keys going into the game was keeping Taylor in front of us and making sure that Cromar doesn't go off. And I thought we did a decent job, especially on Cromar. 1 point, and we made Taylor work. But we're still a work in progress. Continue to work hard. But I thought Chris and Eric had a big part of this victory.
Coach, you mentioned the guards. We talked a lot about that before the game. You said it, 3 for 16 between them. I mean, what was it specifically?
They didn't have great nights. They didn't shoot the ball well, but I think we probably had something to do with it. That was a big emphasis going into the game, making sure that we did a good job in controlling those guys. And I wouldn't have any idea that Cromar would get 1 point. But we wanted to make it as difficult as we could, and I thought we did a decent job at that. And that was, one of the big keys pulling up the victory today.
Mark, it didn't seem like their defense was overly high deserved.
No, we made some, in terms of turnovers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you watched the game, right? It was open court. We made some silly. It wasn't. I don't think it was their pressure that affected us. We just made some. We were loose with the ball. They didn't press a lot, but we made some. We didn't make some good decisions with the ball. I think we were rushing, a couple of times. But yeah, it's give them credit. They probably had something to do with it, but a lot of it was, bad decision making and just loose, passes that we usually complete. We didn't.
Could you just talk about how important it's been for Chris stepping up in the wake of
Really?
Michael going down?
We've said it all, from the very beginning when Marquise went down. And we told the team, it's like, it's too bad. You feel bad, for that player, but give someone else an opportunity. And on good teams, someone takes that opportunity and runs with it. And I thought, with Michael going down, it's given Chris a tremendous opportunity, and for the most part, he's capitalized on it. He's got to continue to work, and but I think he wouldn't have played as much as he's playing. And with Mike here, but I thought he's really, it's when you first get here. I don't care if you're a junior college kid or a freshman. It's a transition, and it's everything academically, socially, But I think Chris has done a great job as we've gone through the season, coming off the bench and giving us a lift. He's I can't remember the games, but there's been 2 or 3 games where without him. We probably wouldn't have won.
Chris, can you talk a little bit about that? What your feelings were at the start of the year. You weren't playing that much. I don't think you played at all against Arkansas State or Buffalo. Just what was going through your mind early in the season? Were you wondering if you were going to get an opportunity or how that might come? Or
I was confident with the coaches. We had a good team, so I was just on the bench. If I was on there, I was learning from the guys that were playing ahead of me. So learning from guys like Mike and Demetrius and Matthew and stuff like that with a lot of the offensive sets and stuff. Like Coach said, it's a transition. So.
If you keep making free throws, it'll probably buy you a lot of time down the stretch of games. So
you get that right.
Chris, you had a big shot at the end of Niagara. You had a couple of big shots at the end of tonight's game, 15 points tonight. I mean, it just seems to steal this from Bob that you just had a nose for kind of scoring in big situations. Can you kind of talk about that?
Just playing hard. Opportunities that come if you play hard in the defensive end. We made stops and the best run down the court.
Coach, it seems two games in a row, real solid defensive first halves, and then maybe some let up in the second half. You kind of talk about what maybe happens in the second half. It's not quite as stout as it is.
It'd probably be a better question for these two guys. I don't know. You know, at times we played well in the first half, and times in the second half we played well. And then I think if you look at the stat sheet, they have 20 points off of turnovers, and 20 off of turnovers. I would assume that those shots are open shots, layups, open threes. You know, so that's where I think our half-court defense, once we're set, is pretty good. I think when you turn it over, 22 times, and you get 20 points off of turnovers, those are uncontested shots, layups, dunks, and that's where we have to get better, taking care of the ball, so we can force a 5-on-5 game, and I think it's a 5-on-5 game, we're pretty good defensively.
Mark, you're up 19, 6
Mhm.
minutes later, you got a possession that can cut it to 2, but were you encouraged that was kind of,
Yeah, we
ended
fought.
with the shot and you got control of it?
Yeah, it's, we fought, there's always points in every game where you can fold. And there's always points in the game where guys either, make a big shot or miss. And I think, that, last 2 games, we've made those plays that have stopped the opposition's momentum. And that's what we gotta continue to do. We knew, this Atlantic 10, as you guys know, it's gonna come down, and they're all nail biters. And you've gotta be able to play defense, you gotta be able to rebound the ball, you gotta be able to take care of the ball. But there's gonna be runs in the game, and you gotta stop, somehow, someway, you gotta find a way to stop their runs. And if you can have more runs than the other team, then you're gonna win. But I thought, Andrew's shot, face up 16, 17 foot on the baseline really stopped their momentum. And that's a big key, because these games are gonna be, very evenly contested, talent-wise, all that stuff. And it's gonna come down to, making some plays at the end to stop momentum. And it's always easier to do that at home than it is on the road.
Andrew, your 2 3-point plays there really gave you guys some breathing room at a critical time. From that point on, really, what's your guys' mindset from that point? Once you get that breathing room again, with whoever was about 10 minutes left.
We just gotta keep going, don't let up.
Was it a set play off the inbounds pass, the one Matthew threw to you, the first 3-point play?
That's supporting the slip. I don't know.
Okay.
We did they did 2-3 zone stuff, so we did a lot of slipping screens.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if that will be.
Okay.
We have time for one more question for coach or players, if there is one.
Anything else? Okay.